So here there is a there is a special word. There is a special word that is capillaries. So capillaries are the minute and small blood vessels which are formed from the arteries and veins. So these are the capillary word came from Latin, which means air, which means air, because they are the thin as the finest of hairs, thin as the finest of hairs. So, with the discovery of capillaries, the idea of the circulation of the blood was complete. It has been accepted ever since. So, the main credit goes to who discovered the complete blood circulation, means William Harvey. William Harvey. So now see here, this picture is very, very important here. So already previous we studied this one. So we know that blood circulate in the blood vessels, but how did the scientist find out that blood moves in the blood vessel? It is possible to demonstrate the movement of blood in vessels without damaging the vessels. Let us repeat the classical experiment to demonstrate the movement of blood in veins conducted William Harvey in early 17th century when there was no compound microscope, any other modern equipment. So here, first of all, tie a tourniquet just above the elbow of your friend as shown in those blood vessels are prominent in the hand. So here what we can see here, we are tying, here we tied. At the time what happens in the hand region, elbow, the blood vessels will be swell due to not movement of the blood towards the heart. So we can see this and so what happens, hold for form support as shown in the figure. Now the blood vessels are seen more prominently. So this is common experience in while we are going to doing the blood test in the laboratory. We will close our fist, then the persons will be tie firmly in the above the elbow. So we know that already. Here you can, blue is blood vessel. Bluish color is what, which blood, bluish blood vessel is nothing but vein. Veins always carry the DOB. Veins, veins blood vessels carry the DOB, deoxygenated blood. At the end of the vessel farthest from the elbow, apply steady pressure as to close its cavity. Now apply pressure from elbow towards the palm slowly. Observe the change in the blood vessel. Take the help of the figure given. Observe the changes discussed here and remove the pressure. Apply pressure from palm towards elbow and see what happens. So answer the following questions. Why do blood vessels just below our skin bulge on the side away from the heart when the hand is tied? What do you understand from it? So why blood vessels are bulge means when we tie above the elbow, blood will not reach towards the heart, so that blood will be, because of deposition in the remain in the blood vessel, the blood vessel will be bulge. So now arteries, veins. Arteries, veins. So differences, it is important to know. Arteries carry blood from the heart to body parts. Veins carry from body organs to heart. This is common, but except pulmonary artery, arteries carry the blood from heart to body parts. Which blood? OB. From where to where? Heart to body parts. Except pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery which carry the DOB from heart to lungs. Pulmonary artery. All veins carry the DOB from body parts to heart, except pulmonary vein, which carry the OB, pulmonary vein, which carry the blood from lungs to heart. That is left auricle. That is you have to keep in our mind. These two blood vessels are different in examination level. Definitely they will come. All arteries carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. All veins carry the DOB except pulmonary vein. So opposite pulmonary, just you think of it. Pulmonary means pul means lungs. These special blood vessels belongs to lungs. They supply to the blood to lungs. They carry blood to from lungs. That is why we kept the name pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein. So now let us observe the transfer section of the artery, transfer section of vein. So and transfer section of blood capillaries. So when you see that the artery walls are very thick, artery walls are very thick. You see that this much thick is there, the wall of the artery, and the lumen, the space inside very less, so that more pressure. So less lumen, more thick wall. That is the common character in the arteries. Whereas vein see here how much lumen is more, and thin wall and thin wall. And also, what is the main difference? In arteries, there is no valve, but in vein, valves are present. These, because of presence of valves, the DOV only always passes from body parts to heart because of presence of valves in the veins. So in only one direction only, in valves, blood goes. And in the same way, capillaries, they are the thin hair-like structures. They have lumen is more, and the thick thin wall we can see. So when we see that, capillaries should play major role. Already one of the general knowledge question. Arteries, arteries end with capillaries. Arteries end with capillaries. Whereas veins start with capillaries. Veins start with capillaries. Veins start with capillaries. So veins start with capillaries. Arteries end with capillaries. This common point you have to remember, keep in your mind. Why? Because it is important. And the blood capillaries, already just now we discussed. Blood capillaries, the microscope vessels, a single layer of cells. They allow diffusion of various substances. The leukocytes can squeeze out the capillary wall. They establish continuity between arteries and veins. So they may continue connection between arteries, veins. So now it is this table is important. Once again, what I am saying that you people, those who are studying now, you are going to writing exam as soon. So this table is very important. Now let us give the answers. Just a number of times I said. So here arteries and veins. Once again, all arteries all arteries carry the OB from heart to body parts, except to pulmonary artery which carries the DOB from heart to lungs. All veins carry the DOB from body parts to heart except to pulmonary vein which carry the oxygenated blood from lungs to heart. That is differences. Now let us go to the thickness, thick and thin. So artery walls are thick. Artery walls are thick, whereas artery walls are thick, veins walls are thin. Next, valves. Arteries, in the arteries, there is no there is no arteries, there is no valves present in the veins. So valves present in the veins, absent in the arteries. Capacity to retain shape when blood is absent. So arteries can retain either blood is present or not, but veins are not. They may collapse, close if blood is not there. Direction of blood to flow. So arteries carry blood from heart to body parts. Arteries from body parts to organs are veins. Next, pressure on the blood vessel. Arteries have high pressure. Arteries have high pressure. Veins have low pressure. So arteries supply the OB, oxygenated blood. That is oxygenated blood. Veins supply the DOB, means deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood. So this paragraph is indicate that when we sit continuously, so blood will not supply properly. At that time, uh, we can sense as a pins and a needles. Pins and needles in Telugu Timmirlu. So this because of only blood is not supplied to that particular organs. So in the same way, swing your arm around several times to fill the veins with the blood. Hold the arm vertically downward. Gently press your finger along a prominent vein stroke in the reverse direction to the so towards the hand. Can you see that swelling where you have pushed blood against the walls? Discuss. Yes. So when we pressure inserted on the hand, what happened? The veins bulged out towards the body parts. So now, yes, our arteries are very strong and elastic. Why? Because of they have to send to far places oxygenated blood. That is the reason they have thick wall. They need more pressure. When the wall is thick, more pressure. Due to more pressure, blood reach the each and every part of the body. So that arteries walls must be thick and less lumen. Why do we compare arteries with the tree which divide into smaller branches? Yes, because of they have to reach each and every corner. The artery must be divided into minute artery that what we can say as a capillaries. The lumen size is bigger in vein when compared to with artery. Why? Yes, because of there is no pressure is need not in the vein. Pressure is need not in the vein. That is the reason there will be a less pressure because of valves are present. Another reason, and another reason is because of blood moves without pressure. That is the reason it has more lumen, and the lumen size is bigger in the veins. And the cardiac cycle. This is important. Cardiac cycle means it is also called one heartbeat. one lub, one dub, one lub, one dub, one contraction, one relaxation. So what is cardiac cycle? And cardiac cycle is nothing but one heartbeat. One heartbeat is nothing but one contraction, one relaxation, one lub, one dub, one systole, one diastole. These three words. So what is heartbeat? Also, we can give the answer. What is heartbeat means one. What is heartbeat means one contraction, one relaxation of the heart, or one systole, one diastole of the heart, or one contraction, one relaxation is called one heartbeat. So the cardiac cycle is consist mainly uh, four steps. It is important. So we start with the imagination that the all the four chambers relaxed state. That is diastole. Just now I said all four chambers will be relaxed. At the time, what happened? Blood from the body parts enter into the right auricle. Blood from right auricle to right ventricle, and then from the lungs left to auricle, and from the left auricle left ventricle. In this way, all the blood from vena cava and pulmonary veins enter into the right and left auricles. So now the arteria contract. When the upper chambers are contracted, blood enter into the ventricles. Now when the ventricles, here it is important. When these two steps, when the ventricles, when the ventricles are, when the ventricles are contracted, when the, now from the, now blood goes to the, from the right ventricle to the lungs through the pulmonary artery. At the time here, three semilunar valves present between right auricle, right ventricle will be closed. During closing, what happened? Lub sound will come. When valves are closed, that is tricuspid valve. When these valves are closed, lub sound is come. When the ventricles are start relaxing, here tricuspid valve, here bicuspid valve, both are closed. At that time, lub sound should come. So when the ventricles are started relaxing, the pressure in the ventricles is reduced. The blood which has entered the aorta tries to come back into the ventricles. So the semilunar valves. So the semilunar valves present in the systemic artery mouth, pulmonary artery mouth. So for example, now I will clearly explain to you. Now three semilunar valves present at the mouth of the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery, this is, and three semilunar valves present mouth of the systemic artery. When the ventricle is relaxed, these semilunar valves are closed. During closing of these three semilunar valves present at the mouth of these blood vessels, dub sound should come. Dub sound. In this way, when the auricles are contracted, lub sound. When the ventricles are contracted, dub sound should come. This is the reason one lub, one dub is called one heartbeat, we can say. The sequential incidence of this is called cardiac cycle. So the cardiac cycle includes the systole and diastole phase. Systole and diastole are one relaxation, one contraction. So now what I am saying in the box, it is important. In examination level number of times it came. The time needed for arterial contraction means systole 0.11 to 14. whereas the time needed for ventricular contraction 0.27 to 35. So for auricles and ventricle to contract, both relaxation, auricles, ventricles joint diastole is about 4 seconds. The whole process is completed with approximately 8 seconds. So for the contraction for contraction of auricles and ventricles, auricles take 0.11 to 0.1414 and ventricles contraction 0.27, 0.35, whereas relaxation of both auricles and ventricles 0.4 seconds. The total whole contraction relaxation of all chambers, it will take 8 seconds. 8 seconds. So total one cardiac cycle takes 0.8 seconds.